there, and welcome to the next entry, the next video on working on the Jurassic Park Jeep. If you're just joining us as the first one, this is our third entry of actually working on the Jeep. So today we're gonna try and get a little bit done, so baby steps. We're making progress. This little YJ Wrangler is gonna be known as JP from here on out. Very soon, it's gonna look a little different. But as I said, baby steps. So the objective of today is going to be to get these rear fender flares off. I took the front ones off quite some time ago. We're gonna get these rear ones off, and I'm gonna try and remove the fender liner back here. I don't know how well that's gonna go. This is very old plastic, 30-year-old plastic doesn't like to move. So I would like to save the fender flares. I was looking online. There's really no options as far as aftermarket availability. So if I can't save them, we're gonna have to do a different, pull a different plan. We're gonna have to do something different if I can't save them. I want to save them, but as I stated, very, very old plastic. It gets very brittle, not bitter. It might be bitter at me when I'm done with it, but it gets very brittle, and I don't know if we're gonna be able to take it out. It is cracked already, so we'll see what happens. But that's gonna be the goal. There's also underneath some rust. Overall, the rust isn't too bad, but this right here, this the fuel tank skid plate, I don't know if that's actually what holds the fuel tank up or not, but that is very, very rotted. So the first thing we're gonna do is put it on the lift, because if the fender flares go decent right now, we're gonna try and change that as well. We have a brand spanking new, beautiful, out of the box. All right, enough talk. Time to get some work done. Let's go. It's kind of funny because there is no interior in the Jeep right now. I have to use this milk crate right here as a temporary seat. That is my chair to get in and out. Well, to not get in and out, but to sit while I'm driving. It's quite difficult without actually having a seat to drive around in. First order of business is to remove the rear wheels. Now, these lug nuts, first of all, they're all different kinds. They tend to swell if you see this one, so it doesn't quite fit the way it's supposed to. And these wheels have not been off in who knows how long, so this may be quite difficult. Even just removing the wheels is a challenge. And these wheels themselves, they're American racing wheels. These are not the wheels that stay on. I do have the correct wheels. They have to be painted and different tires mounted on as well. But they don't allow a lot of room around the lug nuts either, the way they're raised. So even when taking a wheel off is even a problem. My goodness. This is not the right way to do this. Nor is this the right tool to do this. But it's working. This is how tight these things are. I'm just waiting for my socket to snap. Ugh. And just like that. Easy peasy. This is that skid plate, that fuel tank plate that I was talking about. You can see she is pretty rotted through. But overall, I mean, there's rust under here. But we're in Pennsylvania. We're in the Rust Belt. It doesn't look pretty, but there's really no rot other than what I just showed you. Pretty solid. The frame was already repaired at one point, you can see. But overall, pretty good. haven't even done much yet, but I get some of this high quality H2O. Almost. Woo! Brain freeze. This fuel tank decides to start coming down. We're gonna put the old jack underneath it. That way you can catch it. So that is in fact what holds up the gas tank. How to make a little contraption with a zip tie. That is not a zip tie. With a strap. That's actually what I hold my kayaks down with to keep the fuel tank up in the air. That's kind of a silly design. Like, really silly. There were fuel tank straps, but the straps weren't individual from that carrier. It's kind of nuts. Huh. So as you can see, that was pretty bad shape. Here's the new one, full and intact. Hopefully it's the right size. Looks a little different, huh? It's got the rubber all cleaned up. That was all nasty and rust covered, and we used the grinder to just kind of clean it up a little bit. And then we got this strap all cleaned up and sprayed. That way, hopefully it won't get so much corrosion on it. We gotta try and wiggle this thing up over the tank. Projects always end up taking longer and being more involved than what they should. I'm gonna actually remove this portion of the fuel tank, the fuel receiver, because I've come to the conclusion the only way to get the fuel tank strapped back on is to drop the fuel tank completely. But we have to remove this anyway for when we paint it, so no harm, no foul. So the fuel tank is down. Do have to be careful with this metal edge. It is sharp. I sliced my thumb pretty good, and graphic warning alert, not really all that much, but it bled quite a bit. I'd use that rag and wrap it around my hand for quite a long time. So since we have this tank all the way down, this strap, this is a little different. The strap is not long enough, so we're gonna have to improvise with that. But while we have it down, the rust isn't too bad under here, but we're gonna clean the frame up and paint it, because why not? So I went with this 2-in-1 rust converter. So what a rust converter does, it actually takes a rusted surface and it's supposed to convert it into a nice, strong metal again. Again, there wasn't a lot of rust under here, but figured while we have the tank down, why not? So if you look, that looks all nice and black and pretty. Now you can see over here, I did not do yet. Under here, we will eventually get the whole thing, but this video was supposed to be the darn Fender flare. What are we doing with the gas tank out of it? So the fuel tank is finally back in a few days later. Now it's time to get to the original mission and get this Fender flare off. Not this Fender, it's over there. It's a super tedious and honestly quite annoying little thing having to take these off. These little fasteners are a pain because they spin. They're supposed to, they're designed so they kind of stay in place, but that's not the way they work. But luckily for you, with the miracle of editing, it's off. Look, it's in my hand. And this, as you can see, I don't know if you can see me pull it out there. The fender liner did not come out in one piece. But this is what we look like in here. So what we're gonna have to do, I imagine the other side is not gonna come out either. So we'll clean this up, we'll undercoat it with the same stuff that we did, and then we'll spray like a rubberized coating in there. I don't ever plan on driving this thing in the rain or in salt conditions in the winter, so it should be plenty okay. Got a good look at the rust here. This is much more solid than I thought it was gonna be, so that's a good sign. Now we're going to be able to cut this out and patch these. That's going to be the next episode, is patching that. But hey, the fender liner's out. As you can see here, the fender liner pile has doubled up. It, of course, did not come out on the other side. Ooh, I just almost tripped. So, same thing we're going to do over here, but I kind of planned on that anyway. I already put this side back together. Because that is going to do it for this entry to the Jurassic Park Jeep project. I'm so excited to get this thing going. So this is entry number 3. So video number 3 of working on the Jeep. I know it still looks like a normal Jeep, but we're getting there. We're making progress. We're making steps here. It's awesome. If you enjoyed the video, like it. If you are interested in seeing the progress of this project, subscribe to the channel. We do lots of filming locations, travel videos, and random things like this from time to time. And until next time, be good, have fun, and learn something.
Red means stop, yellow means slow down, green means go. So let's go all over this town.